Capitu's absence was like a void in my life, one I tried to fill with routine, distractions, and even prayer. But none of it worked. Her face, her voice, her words, they haunted me. And yet, the doubts still lingered, whispering cruel possibilities in the back of my mind. I spent more time with my mother during those days, seeking her approval in a way I hadn't since childhood. She seemed pleased, though she never said so outright. José Diaz, too, took every opportunity to remind me of my fortunate escape. "You've made the right decision, my boy," he said one afternoon, his tone oily with satisfaction. "A young man like you has no need for complications. The world is full of opportunities, and now you're free to pursue them." His words grated on me, but I said nothing. Deep down, I knew he wasn't entirely wrong. Life without Capitu was simpler, quieter, but it was also emptier. One day, as I walked through the streets of Rio, I found myself near the Santiago house. I hadn't meant to go there, but my feet seemed to have a mind of their own. Before I knew it, I was standing outside the gate, staring at the house where so many of our memories had been made. The sight of it brought a flood of emotions: joy, longing, regret. I thought about turning back, but before I could, the door opened and there she was, Capitu. She looked the same and yet different. Her eyes still held that mysterious depth that had always captivated me. But there was a sadness in them now, a heaviness that hadn't been there before. "Bento," she said, her voice soft but steady. "Capitu," I replied, my throat tightening around her name. For a moment, we just stood there, staring at each other. Then she stepped closer, her expression a mixture of hope and caution. "Why are you here?" she asked. "I don't know," I admitted. I needed to see you." Her eyes searched mine as if trying to decipher the truth behind my noise. "And now that you've seen me?" "I don't know," I said again, the weight of my own uncertainty crushing me. She sighed, a sound filled with both frustration and sadness. "Bento, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep waiting for you to decide whether or not you want me in your life." "I want you," I said quickly, the words tumbling out before I could stop them. "Do you?" she asked, her voice sharp. "Because it doesn't feel like it. It feels like you're more worried about what your mother thinks, or what José Diaz says, than about what you actually want." Her words stung because they were true. I had let their opinions shape my decisions, their doubts fuel my own. But standing there, looking into her eyes, I realized something. I didn't want to live without her. "I'm sorry," I said, my voice breaking. "I've been a coward. I let them get into my head, make me doubt you, doubt us. But I can't do this anymore. I can't lose you." Her expression softened, but she didn't say anything. Instead, she just looked at me, as if trying to decide whether or not she could trust me again. Finally, she said, "If you want to be with me, Bento, you have to choose me. Not just today, but every day. You can't let anyone or anything come between us. Can you do that?" "I can," I said, the words coming from somewhere deep within me. "I will." For the first time in weeks, I felt a sense of clarity, a certainty that I hadn't felt in what seemed like forever. I didn't know what the future held, but I knew one thing. I wanted Capitu by my side. Choosing love is only the beginning. In the next chapter, I'll tell you how Capitu and I began to rebuild what had been broken, and how the seeds of doubt continued to cast their shadow. Don't miss it.